Welcome to the channel, everybody. My name is Ryan, and we are back with some more RimWorld. This is the Hussars and Highmates colony, and as you can see, we have entered a very important phase. Uh-oh, the baby's crying. That's right, we've got two little ones. Strong is over here taking care of Buddy. That's not even her child, believe it or not. But she's taking care of him while Shay, the actual mother here, is... Yeah, see, son is Buddy. She's got Buddy right there. Lady V is the little girl here. She's the daughter of Strong here. And her husband, Shepherd. There he is, cleaning up. So the colony is going along quite nicely. We got a comfy little place. In fact, we've got a prisoner here. And this is a quest. We're fulfilling a quest here for our friends of the Alliance of Labar, and they're going to give us some medicine and some jade if we keep her healthy and alive for 15 more days. So we got a full season to go with her, but as long as we keep her happy, I'm going to assign prisoner. Yeah, there's actually a mod for that, so you can assign prisoners beds, and it's included in this mod pack. So if you guys are interested in playing along with this mod pack, the seed, even the opening scenario, that's all linked down below in the description. So I hope you enjoy that. Have fun with the guys, play along, see what we can do with this silly little scenario that I came up here. I love the idea of incorporating the xenotypes and stuff into the playthrough, so you can count on this one hopefully going for a good long time. My last series, the Toxic Wasters series, there's also a link for that. That one lasted over 130 episodes. I don't know if this one's going to make it that far, but I'm going to give it my all for sure. Like I said, we're in a very important stage here, so let's just take a quick peek at the two little babies real quick. We're going to pause it because they do have unique xenotypes. Since I've got a mod installed called Hussars and Highmates, and it basically allows them to mix their genes together. It also works on genies too, the genie type, but we're just concerned with the first two. So you can see little baby Buddy here. He's a male, 12 hours old. He's a hybrid. So he's got the size sensitivity of his mom or of the Highmate. He's got the partial antitox lungs of the Hussar. That's his Hussar blood. But check it out. Violence has been disabled. So that's another Highmate trait. This young man is going to be no fighter, unfortunately. But he's also kind, reduced pain, very attractive, long hair, thin body. He's also awful at mining, awful at plants, awful at animals, and awful at social. So he's kind of got the worst of both worlds when it comes to his traits here, but that's okay. Or skills, I should say. Let's take a quick peek at little Lady V, who's just a little bit older than our young man there. Let me look at the bio. Yeah, she's 9 days old. He's just a couple hours old. So she's just they're almost identical in their ages, though. But so she's a really interesting one. Super fast wound healing, psychically deaf, so those are Hussar traits. Very happy, I believe that's a Highmate trait possibly. Cold tolerant, heat weakness. We're in a perfect spot for that because we are in the boreal forest right now. But nonetheless, she is also partially antitox thanks to the Hussar genes. Hyper aggressive, and interestingly enough, you might say, oh, that's not so good. Well, luckily she is, because that has actually overridden the Highmate gene. So you can see she's got the violence disabled gene, but it's overridden by her hyper aggressiveness. So she is capable of fighting. You can see we have the attack option right here. She's a baby, but in the future she'll be capable. But if I look at my little Buddy here, nope, no option to set him to attack yet, so, or at all. So he's not going to be violent. She will be capable of that. And just to finish it off, she's got kind, delicate. So she's going to be a long-range shooter. We're not getting her melee. Very attractive, long-haired, standard body. She's got the blue skin of the Highmate. She's great melee, but she is delicate, so that'll be an interesting combo. She's also got great social. So they're almost like opposites in almost every way. It's pretty interesting that it just worked out that way, and I love it. I can't wait. I'm debating with myself right now. In fact, I've been thinking just as I was booting up, should I switch this down to avoid now for both of our ladies since they're currently mothering and stuff? Or should we go right for another pregnancy? Because, you know, it's going to be years before these kids can even get up and walk around. you know, so I feel like there might be a lot of stuff they need to take care of in the meantime. And getting pregnant again, I'm going to leave it to low chance for now. I mean, these are Highmates that we're dealing with, so they might still get pregnant, you know, or get their partner pregnant, vice versa, even when it's reduced. We'll just have to wait and see. Oh boy. Well, check out this sad scene here. Our crops are all gone now. We did have an early cold snap. You can see it here. So unfortunately, that killed almost everything in the garden off, except obviously for the herbal, or I'm sorry, the heal root. That's left behind, but we did end up with a pretty good stash, and of course, it's all in the freezer. So we've got rice in the almost 1,000 stack. We got the drugs. We can start our drug production. I'm hoping now that it's cold out, we'll get that going. Speaking of being cold, okay, that's 84 degrees in here, 66, 65. Just checking. Okay, it's pretty chilly in here. I just want to make sure we have a nice refuge of warmth and stuff. We had to throw together a campfire in the prison just because you can see the temperature control unit's not quite up yet. So, but no worries. We overcame our difficulties there. Now I'm really considering like what the next step is. Honestly, I think we need to finish these walls. You can see I've got myself plans here. In case you guys missed the previous episodes, we did go all through this. And this is basically going to be a trap funnel or a trap hall with, you can't, I haven't placed the wall yet here. Let me go ahead and just do that. I can forbid it too. So we're going to bring that all the way around. And this is going to be the outmost exterior portion of the wall here. And just a brief explainer, too, in case you guys have missed it. Like I said, I did mention this in a previous episode. But for those just tuning in, what happens here in this situation once this is all constructed is our people will be able to walk through here freely because they'll just climb over these fences. That's what this is. There's wooden fences all lined on this side. Once this is blocked off, they'll take it because they know to avoid the traps and go the slower route. But enemies, raiders, won't really see the traps here. They think this is the faster route. Climbing over fences slows them down. So they're going to take the quickest route into our base. That's just how the AI is programmed. And so by doing that, they're going to hit every trap that goes through, and they won't step over onto this side at all. Unless it gets super overcrowded in there or something. But even then, they're probably not likely to. But nonetheless, if you guys stick around for future episodes, you will see it in action. So I hope you do tune in for that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, by the way. Well, will you take a look at that? I've just been admiring the two little ones, and I noticed that they actually do have a hygiene need. Now, they don't have a thirst need. I guess their food is their thirst need at this stage in their lives, basically. But, yeah, they got to be changed, I assume, fairly regularly. At least that's what I think that's all about. But, yeah, I'm just sitting back really enjoying the social bubbles. They talk about some random stuff, man, I'll tell you that, but it is funny. And you know the great thing is, not a single social fight in the whole colony yet. I say yet because they're inevitably bound to happen, especially when we consider, I think one of our people is bloodlust. I mean, we got Hussars roaming around. You know it's going to happen, but hopefully the housemates will have a nice chilling effect on everybody. Look at this. Shay, do we not have research for you, Shay? What's going on here? Why is she not working? Hold your horses. Everything needs to grind to a halt to see why Shay won't research. Have I got her zoned wrong? No, I've unrestricted her here. Let's speed it up a little bit and see. Using the wooden latrine. Wandering. Well, that's weird. Shay, why aren't you researching? All right, let me set it to a 2. Well, I'm going to mess with this a little bit, see what's going on, figure out why she won't research. Okay, well, I'm not sure what the trigger was, but Shay's working again. She's not researching. I switched it over, too. I went to Psychoid Brewing, thinking maybe that would, like, reset it, but let's go back to smithing now. I'm not sure what the dilemma there was, but sometimes things can be a little funky. I don't know. It's usually one thing I've discovered. I always mention this in my playthroughs too. Usually, whenever I encounter little errors like that, I think to myself, "Oh, it's a bug. There's probably like a mod conflict. Something's going on." But if I investigate just a little bit further, I realize, yeah, most of the time it's a user error. It's something either the options aren't set right or something's blocking the pawn, whether it's physical or like something with the jobs. But again, that's down to user error. That's down to the user. So maybe it's just me. I'm sure there's other folks out there have much smoother playthroughs and stuff. But nonetheless, I have encountered legitimate bugs with mods and things of that nature, of course. And when you get lists, mod lists that are up in the 200s, even the hundreds and stuff, there's obviously going to be some issues occasionally. But that's why I try and keep it more slimmed down, so to speak, for like my YouTube playthroughs and the collections that I create for them. For one thing, it's pretty time consuming making the collection on Steam, but they've actually made that process a bit easier in recent past, so that's good news. This one took me about 5 minutes to do, where sometimes in the past, like it can take hours to click through the list, but they've changed it, improved it quite a bit. Anyway, the only reason I mention it is because there is a link to the collection below. No, I'm just kidding. But if you guys do decide to play along, I'd love to hear how your colonies are going and stuff in the comments section. Be sure to keep me updated regularly, guys. I enjoy very much hearing from y'all out there who also enjoy RimWorld, whether you're a new player or a veteran, or somebody like me who's never played with the Dub's bad hygiene and is constantly juggling fecal sludge canisters. But look at this. It's a well-oiled machine, so to speak. We produce it, then we carry it out to the river, and the river takes it away into oblivion. Like I said, it's perfect. It's a great system. One day we'll get actual like pipes that just go straight from here right into the river. How's that sound? Oh yeah. Oh man, in real life I'm a diehard conservationist, but in the Rim world, I'm a toxic polluter all the way. Okay, well, check it out. We've got ourselves another bulk goods trader just showed up here. Sarah Shea is going to come out here, but before she does, she's got to change the color of her outfits. That's right. I am slowly but surely getting everybody's favorite colors locked in. Now, hers happens to be just a mustard brown color that she really likes. There you go. That's her color. Let's see, what was his again? Oh yeah, I'd say Shepherd has the most interesting of the colors. A nice deep maroon. We'll see that when he wakes up. But first, let's get this trade locked in. We've got 29 silver. So I've just started to get the neutronoamine production up and running. Look at that. We got 25 of them. That's amazing. I might want to buy these components. Whoa. That's a lot of money. I'm going to get rid of this. We'll keep the plain leather. Keeping the yayo, although this is good to sell. You know what? Shoot, we could probably sell it and just make some more. We got enough go juice. I don't need it right away. Now, here's the deal. Do I sell the dye or do I keep it? No, I'm just kidding. We're going to keep it. That's for everybody's favorite color. I have been selling my ironwood, though. It's good for some things, and it's nice to mix up the color scheme with wood if you want to drop down some ironwood floors or something, but ultimately it's kind of just for sale. And I'm sitting on this one cloth parka. You know what? I can sell that too. So let's go ahead and grab some components. These are really eventually going to be the bottleneck, truly. I mean, just like in most colonies, that's the case. But I think in this area where we have very little, very little mountain or actual hill and stuff, it might be even more of a challenge because once we clear it out, we're done. So there we go. We get 17 of them. Now, obviously, there's a lot of different ways to compensate for that and get extra components. In fact, I do have a mod installed in this collection which allows us to make bulk components at the fabrication bench. Once we get that researched and stuff like that, it just becomes automatic advanced fabrication. Well, you just need to get to this level. And once you get to this level, if you're playing with this mod pack, you will be able to make 5, 10, and 25 quantities of both regular components and advanced ones. So it's helpful in order to, make things a bit more efficient and streamlined, but you still need a heck of a lot of resources to do that. Okay, guys, most important thing here. We got babies in the crib. There's food running low, but I really need to see what color Shepherd's going to look like here with his favorite color on. What's he going to be? Oh, there it is. Boy, that really does clash with his blue face quite a bit, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, even at a distance, he stands out. Well, nobody ever said he was great with fashion, but, you can't change a person's favorite color. They're born with it, so there you go. Nonetheless, things are going pretty smooth here. Shay is a little bit better. Her dark mustard color, I was kind of poking fun at it a bit, but it does match her facial color a little bit better. Now, I'm anxious to see. Oh, that's right. Strong's is gray-ish. Strong, why don't you wake up and let's get that changed out in the morning once you wake up there. I put it in the bathroom, and why the heck are they not cleaning this? Yeah, it's good to take stock of your home zone occasionally. As you can see, I like to keep mine nice and tight, especially in the beginning. But eventually, once we get the walls sealed up, I will fill this all in here so it just helps with firefighting and stuff like that if Randy drops some lightning bolts inside the walls. But this will hopefully keep them from running around too much or anything like that. Clear this, boom. Yeah, but they will repair just what I want them to repair. They will only replace exactly what I designate, because we do have the option toggled on to allow us to instantly repair or replace anything that's destroyed within our home zone. I highly recommend you guys turn that on. It's toggled off by default when you start the game, but it's down here. It's the middle one, the little hammer. Toggle automatic rebuild of destroyed structures in home area. I played for many, many hours before I even realized that was a thing. And then I think I probably watched a YouTuber and turned that on. I was like, oh, that's brilliant. Such a great option. Why isn't that like ready to go? But nonetheless, we just got, I think this is like our second solar flare. Yeah, this is number 2. At least it didn't wipe out the batteries this time. Well, I don't think it does that. That's only if you have an electrical discharge. But we should be okay. There's a fire going in here. Now, you think I ought to establish a vent system between all these rooms? I think I probably should. We'll do it in here too, because even though this is a stockpile room, and I need to get some shelves in here, by the way, but it's good to have a temperature control, strictly because there is some construction or crafting type stuff for the moment until I'm able to get my colony expanded a little bit. That's something we haven't done recently, is plan too much out. But again, I'm kind of waiting for the walls to go up. There we go. And I'm waiting for everybody to change their colors too. Now, but these walls need to go up before I start to get really serious about like building out our rooms and stuff and maybe replacing the freezer. Let me go ahead and I'm going to pause it real quick and we'll go ahead and lay these walls out so we can get a better visual idea of what we've got coming up here in the near future. So, and I'll go through this for anybody who's just tuning in for the first time and missed my initial explanation. I'm lining up. Go ahead and just put this right through the mountain there. Yeah, so this is going to be right here, this double-walled section. This is our walk-in freezer right here. We're going to have some doors, obviously, coming in. Let's do some nice steel doors to start with. We'll put them over here in the corner. And then right here, we're going to have our kitchen. It's nice and long. We can fit a lot of stuff in here. I like to put my drug making station and shelves and stuff in the kitchen too, because as you can see, I store most of like the psychoid and stuff with the food. It's just more convenient that way. So that goes all in there. That's why I like to have a nice large kitchen area. Attached to that is going to be the barn. So in here, we're going to have all our animal sleeping spots and things of that nature. Where's the furniture? There it is. So yeah, I'll lay all these out, and of course, we don't have any animals yet, but it's pretty quick and easy to get some, especially with all these traders coming in. Hold on, I don't want to do that. Let me deconstruct. There we go. So that kind of gives you a better visual idea of what we've got going on. And I'm going to go ahead and forbid this stuff real quick so that they don't work on it right away. Because like I said, just for our purposes, so we can kind of see what the intention is. And this is going to be the next thing that we work on most assuredly once the walls are up. Well, you know, I've gone back to the well, so to speak, and the bulk goods trader is still here. And I got to thinking, I was just looking at their animals, and I realized, you know what, I want these ducks that they've got. So we don't have a barn or even a pen set up for the ducks, but what I'm going to do is force Shay to grab them. Beautiful, so they don't get too far wandering away. And as long as you've got a caravan hitching spot, she'll tie them up right there, just like she did. They're not going anywhere now. And as you can see, they can still eat if there's, as long as there's grass within reach here, and there's plenty of it. There's grass everywhere, so they're not going to starve. I think this is a good temporary setup. Like I said, the next big priority is down here, but we do have a little while to go before these walls are completed. I've got to go all the way around. In fact, let's just go through it together here. Now, as you might notice if you've watched, I used the tool, the shapes tool up here, to actually line out the plans for these. But now I'm doing it manually when I go in and set the walls, just like, and I've done this all the way around on each diagonal section. And that's basically just to save on materials. I want to get this wall up as quick as possible and make sure I have enough granite to complete it. So I'm actually just waiting, or I'm just going to wait on the second layer here. You can see there's another layer designated by these plans. So I will put that in at some point when I want to go too thick on this baby. But at that point, it'll be easy just to slap the tool, use the shapes tool, you know, because it'll all be built and we're just filling in the gap essentially. So in other words, it's a little tedious to start, but this way it conserves resources and allows them to build it a little bit quicker with just one row. Now, the real question is, what do I do here? Do I go around as I've, you know, designated with the planning tool? This is kind of what I intended in doing, so that unfortunately our garden and our power source is going to be outside the walls here, you know, and we're going to have to use a door to get in and out. Obviously, it's going to be less convenient. So I was thinking about it. It might just be better to do something like this. Okay, there it is. So as you can see, I've just gone along the outside. Now, obviously, it's going to cut into some of our zoning here. Our gardening's going to suffer a bit, but I should redo this anyway. I probably don't need this much hay at the moment. We have 0 animals except for a couple ducks. But nonetheless, so you'll see I have to relay the garden. Now, there is a problem here in that this thing's blocking it. So what I was thinking is potentially I could just move these in. Yeah, there's no reason why I can't do that. So I'll probably we'll just move this stuff in. And I think we'll do it this way. I'd love to be able to enclose the entire compound, including the garden and the power source. Very important parts of the whole, colony in totality. So we got to keep those protected. I think this is probably our best bet. Okay, so we are still going over our plans and stuff here. I hope you'll bear with me, although we're not as focused on the social aspect today. I mean, there's a lot going on in here with the babies, but it's nothing too exciting at the moment. Right now, I'm having a lot of fun designing the colony, and I'm also enjoying more of the irregular shape I got going here. In other words, I don't like the rectangles and squares all the time. Don't get me wrong, it's efficient, but having the circular stuff and taking advantage of the more exotic things you can do with this shapes tool here is a lot of fun. And I was thinking, as I pull back and look, it's unfortunate that this is all square and rectangle like. So I think I'm actually going to come in here and completely redo this. So let's get rid of this altogether. Now, essentially, I'm going to keep it in the same area, roughly about the same size, but instead, we're going to go ahead and use the shapes tool. And I'm going to grab the open circle here instead of the filled one. You do the filled one with a wall like this, the whole thing is going to be filled with walls, so it's useless. What I want to do is grab it and do the open circle. Then I'm going to try and work this out. It doesn't need to be perfectly doubled walled around the entire freezer, but let me see if I can play around with this a little bit. Another thing, maybe I'll do real quick, is just remove these plans. Might make it a bit easier to see. And I'm just referring to the interior plans here. There we go. So now I'm going to move some stuff around here, see if I can't get some nice circular, or at least something other than just squares and rectangles. Okay, now check it out. No, I didn't intend to make it look like a face. No, not at all. Whoops, that one's off centered a little bit. No, it's not supposed to be a frog face. No, that's not going to happen. Get this out of here. I don't want that. But no, no. So this is, I mean, pretty much like I said, the basic same setup. There's no double walls here, but let me grab the right tool. Again, the most frustrating or hard to work with aspect of this mod is forgetting to reset your shape back to like a normal one, like a straight line. But if I do something like this, and maybe if we just come around here, I don't know. I don't want to make this thing too ugly now. You know what I'm saying? I just had fun building it out, but it does need to be kind of insulated here. Although I guess not necessarily so much. Now that I think about it, you know what? I'm so used to playing like on a jungle map that like having double walls really is pretty important, especially when you lose power like we've been doing a lot. But oh my god, okay, I've screwed this shape up. I think I'll redo it here. Let me show you, in fact, how I got this particular shape. So this elongated shape, here we go. Why can't I get rid of the plans? Hold on now. Okay, there we go. So I was trying to get rid of plans, not actual constructed walls there. That would be the reason I was failing. But nonetheless, like I said, it's always user error, isn't it? So we're back to how we were with this. Now I've got my tool, my shapes tool, and the wall selected that I want. So I'm going to come out to the circle, and you can see there's actually an oval here. So this is what I use. You don't start off in the center of these. You kind of pull from the left to the right. Boom, right there. Oh, not quite. So when I'm not perfect like this, when I realize, okay, I need to start back one further, I go ahead and I'll leave that spot there so I know where to move my cursor next. Boom. So there you go. That's kind of the setup we had there. Now I can go in here and remove this one. Yeah, so that's perfect. And like I said, we won't worry about doubling up the walls. And if you're thinking, boy, this is kind of a small area, you know, of course, we're going to have some over-the-wall coolers here so we can freeze this place out. And I'm going to put a bunch of shelves in here, too, and food baskets as well. So we'll have this entire place just filled with these. And, you know, if needs be, we can open the frog's mouth a little bit and expand it further down, or set up a secondary freezer elsewhere in the compound. That's not a terrible idea. I've done that before. But all right, so there you go. Enough with the blueprints and the planning and all that fun stuff. We're going to go ahead and forbid that for now. Again, waiting for the walls to be completed, and then this is going up. Oh boy, take a quick overview of the colony. The walls are really coming in quickly now. In fact, I think we're about good to just go ahead and start unlocking these here for our Hussars. Let them get to work on this. I think it was a smart move turning down the pregnancy chance on those two. Maybe at least the mother or the female Hussar, because she's another construction one. I could probably go ahead and have Shay have another kid, but you know, it's helpful that she can at least work on some things too. She's our gardener, but you know, we're in the down season right now, so not much planting going on this winter. Maybe I will set her back up. Let's see here. Smithing. All right. So, yeah, they just finished that. So, like I said, let's go ahead and backtrack to the psychoid brewing. I think that's an important one, maybe to help get some people's health up. I don't know if they're going to consider that drug use, though, because at this point, when I did order the Hussars to use some go juice, they got upset by it. Yeah, look, right there. It's still there for 1.9 days, thanks to our burgeoning ideology. So I'm not really sure about that, but we're using the fluid ideology system right now. So thinking of which, or speaking of which, I think we should probably try a new one. No, this was started. Oh, we need to have a full place for that, like a full ritual room. Let's do this one. Performed recently, unfortunately, so we can't. Oh, you know what else we need? I just realized a sacrificial flag. There we go. Now the question is, oh yeah, I have to use cloth for this, so we don't quite have enough cloth. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and set it down right there. Well, and I did actually just reset this entire thing. Like I said, I was going to go through and redo the garden here. Some of these zones, as you can see, we got potatoes just went in. Gosh darn it. I wish they wouldn't spend time sowing things. Like, 2 weeks before we have a hard frost. But hey, that was my fault, really. So I am going to need to find a little spot for some cotton, but unfortunately, we won't be able to do this thing until next season at the earliest, or if we happen to get a good trader come through. But not a big deal. I do want to progress the ideology system, though, a little bit. At least then I can hopefully remove that penalty for using hard drugs, because I want to be able to administer go juice, at least to my hussars without issues. But you know what? Fortunately, the psychic bond that they have with their Highmate mates is compensates for that. It not quite perfectly, but almost nullifies it. But nonetheless, guys, I think that's going to do it for today's episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. If so, I hope you'll consider hitting that like button for me. It helps the channel grow and other folks to find the videos and stuff. So I appreciate you all out there for tuning in. Come back tomorrow, and I will see you on the next one.